Here's what it looks like. And you can see I'm rubbing my finger on it. All that's picking it up. And it's coming off. So I'm going to take my handkerchief and on my axe now. And this axe should not rust now. Today we're making something called tool wax. So if you don't know what that is, it's kind of like something you can rub on your tools, like an axe head, your knife, and it will make it food safe. And it's an oil, like you rub oil on your gun. It keeps it from rusting, so on, that kind of stuff. So today we're going to be making it. I'm going to show you a ratio for tool wax, but this will also work on your wood. Okay, so to start with, here's what you need. You need some wax. Beeswax. It needs to be beeswax, 100% beeswax. You need a container you're going to pour your wax into when you're done. And these are aluminum. I don't want nothing that's going to rust. And you need 100% mineral oil. You can find this as butcher block oil, some other things, but it's all the same thing. It's just 100% mineral oil. It's cheaper to buy it this way. The same thing in butcher block oil is like $12 to $16. This was $3. Same amount. So this is really cheap to make. So you need your beeswax, you need your oil, and we're going to weigh them. I'll tell you the ratio in a moment. And then I'm going to heat them up and show you how to make it. First, the ratio is for tool wax is going to be 1 to 3. So for every 1 of this, it's going to be 3 of this. It's going to be multiplied by 3. So if I have 1 gram of wax, I'm going to use 3 grams of oil. So if you want to use a measuring cup, whatever you're using, but I have a scale, so I'm going to use a scale. What I'm going to do is I'm going to whittle this down, and I'll cut them. I won't make you watch me do all of this, just so it melts a little easier. So I'm going to whittle me some. I don't really need a whole lot of wax for the amount it's going to make. It's more oil than it is wax in this. So got around 57 grams in here for this recipe, and I'm using my scale. So I want 57 grams of beeswax and 170 grams of
you hit 57 even.
Mineral oil. Okay. So now I'm going to put this here, because I know how much I need. And I'm going to weigh out 70 grams of mineral oil. Okay, so now I'm going to heat this up. I want to heat my oil up first. You need to use a double boiler. If you don't have a double boiler, it's really safer to do that. I don't. And the reason is I'm just done this for a long time, melting wax and stuff. But what can happen is if you don't use a double boiler, your wax can get too hot. You can scorch it, or it can combust, and we don't want to do that. So I'm going down to really low heat. And I'm going to heat up my oil. Pot you use needs to be only for this. You don't need to be using that pot for other things, or I wouldn't. I'm not telling you what to do. But this pot is going to get a lid on it, and it's going to stay for this. I'm never going to use it for nothing other than making this stuff. How it melts. And again, if I was mixing this and making it specifically to use on wood, like a cutting board, I would do 1 to 4. So you could use the same recipe for your cutting board. It would just be a 1 to 4 ratio instead of 1 to 3.
Chopstick.
Open up my canisters. These particular ones I ordered on Amazon, and the reason I chose these is because I wanted aluminum and I was planning to film today, and these arrived the quickest. That was the only reason I chose this over any other brand. I'll put a link to these on Amazon. There's all kinds of companies out there selling them. Most of them are probably from the same base company anyways. But they are aluminum. You have to worry about them rusting. And here's my handkerchief that I'm going to be using to take the oil and apply it to my tools. So I'm going to do it to an axe when we get in the Harbor Freight axe we've been filming videos on. And I'm going to keep this inside one of these here. I'm going to have to cut it in half. But it will stay with the wax puck. Okay, so here's the wax. I can see it melting. Good. I'm on low heat. Once this is fully melted, I'm still going to let it go for a little bit. I'm not just going to say, oh, I'm done. Because what will happen is it will kind of separate in your canister, and you'll have more oil than wax in some. And we want this to be one liquid, not two liquids. But this is great. Like, this is a great thing to have on. Like I said, put it on your. You can put this on your axe head. Put this on your axe head, and then you can rub it on your axe handle. You can rub this on your hunting knife. If you're not planning on using any of these tools to be cutting meat or processing meat, you don't really have to do this. Just if you want to keep everything food grade and safe, and it is cheap. You know, you could rub gun oil on your certain gun oil on your hunting knife if you want. If you're going to be out batoning and stuff, but a lot of my stuff makes contact with things I eat. So one of my favorite things to do when we're out on a hike is I like to cook, make drinks, you know, teas, coffees, whatnot. I just build a fire, sit back and relax, and just enjoy life. Just enjoy nature. And I don't want to take something I got a little bit of gun oil on, and because of this and that and this, and it winds up in my steak. So I just use everything natural. Okay, so here it is fully melted. I don't really see any chunks left of beeswax, but I'm going to continue to do this. Really, if you had a thermometer in here, you'd want to get to a certain temperature and hold it at that temperature for a certain amount of time. If you really wanted to be finesse with this, but it's not really necessary. You just do not want to bring this to a boil. Do not get it to a boil. If you're having trouble bringing it to a boil, you need to step up, get you a double boiler. So to make a double boiler, you would have a pot in here that's larger than this, and you'd have water coming to a boil in it, and then you would set your container like this down into the boiling water to melt everything in, because it can't get overboiled in that because water won't go over 212. So you don't have to worry about overheating your wax.
Smells like popcorn butter.
Yeah, that's not popcorn, don't it?
Yeah.
That's where you're smelling that beeswax.
Yeah.
I'm not going to fill it to the brim. I'm going to leave a little room. I can always add more.
Do you need another one?
Yeah, I might have enough to make another one. Yeah, we're going to label these.
They come with labels.
I'm not wanting to fill this to the brim because I'm wanting to leave room to put a handkerchief. But you do you.
Oh, that one could have used a lot more in it.
Okay, so there we go. And this is the lid that came with this pot. I'm going to leave it on it. And it's going to stay with this. Finished product. Here, let's focus on this one. Here's what it looks like. And you can see I'm rubbing my finger on it. Oh, that's picking it up. And it's coming off. So I'm going to take my handkerchief. And again, I'll leave a link to all these in the description or in the YouTube, whatever there's called. So I'm going to put some on my axe now. And this axe should not rust now. And this is the Harbor Freight axe, hatchet, whatever it's called, the axe in the store. The Pittsburgh one. And I'm doing a full torture test review on this axe, and I'm slowly turning it into a beautiful axe. So you just rub this on here like this, and then you just start applying it to the axe. It's kind of neat. After we got the paint off this, you can see the imperfections, the mistakes, and the damage inside the steel, which I think is kind of neat. Like it's its own personality in a way. It's its own scars. I know this ain't the best steel, but that's the point of the video I'm doing with the axe. So I'm rubbing this on. Now, I will say, and I just shared that with my wife, this is going to stay in my Bushcraft bag. I'm also going to put one of these in my bug out bag. And the ones that I want to keep in here, I want to give some to some family. But I'm going to leave one for my sister to use on tools when she puts this on. Like this vise will get some on it. But I don't want her to use the one on the vise that was in my Bushcraft bag that I'm going to use on my axe or knife, because now I'm cross-contaminating, because I don't know what we use on this vise. It's random every time. So there might be gun oil on this vise, there might be motor oil on this vise, and I don't want to get that. So you need to do the same. So if you got one of these and it stays with your tools, don't use the same one you use for tools that have other things on them. So I'm going to apply a thin layer, getting it on the blade. And I'm coating every part of this. And you could use your finger if you wanted. I just, be honest with you, I don't like the feel of things like this. Kind of, I don't want to say heebie-jeebies, but I just don't like the feel of them. Alright, so there is the axe. And now it will not rust. And we'll actually put that to the test. So if this starts to rust, I will film it and say, hey, it rusted. So, anybody has any questions, let me know. Thank you for watching. And if y'all want to purchase some of this stuff, I've never really set up an Amazon store. But I could set up an Amazon store or something maybe through the members page. And if anybody wants some of this and doesn't want to do what I just did, you'd rather just buy it. I might see about sending some members some of this. I might see about, I just ain't never messed with it. But I enjoy making it, and I wouldn't care to send some out to somebody. You just let me know what you think in the comments. And you can also apply this to the wood. But I'm not going to, because I have other oil I've been putting on the wood, and I don't want to put it on that. Alright, thanks for watching.